Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another edition of Foodie Fridays. I've had so many requests for crock pot recipes, and I am a lover of crock pot recipes because when I'm working, y'all know I'm a teacher, I'm off for the summer, but during the year for work, it is so easy and convenient to throw a bunch of stuff in a crock pot, come home and dinner is done and I don't have to do anything else. Makes everyone's lives so much easier. So this is a crock pot recipe for chicken and dumplings, and it's not just your normal chicken and dumplings recipe. This is one that my husband absolutely loves. He will not eat it any other way. He ate chicken and dumplings a bunch of different ways when he was growing up, and he says this is his favorite way. So I'm going to share with you our favorite chicken and dumpling recipe, and it is super easy in the crock pot. So the ingredients that you're going to need, and I don't have all the ingredients out because you're going to do some things later when it's done almost, but you'll need 4 tablespoons of butter, and you'll need those cut up. You'll need 1 onion already diced. I went ahead and diced it up and cut up the butter. It calls for 3 of these cans of the 10.5 ounces cream of chicken, but I always get just the big one and then the little one to go with it because it equates to about the same size. You'll need 32 ounces of chicken broth. This is the chicken broth I just got from Dollar Tree. You'll need some salt and pepper, just however much you want to add. Garlic powder, however much you want to add of that. I like to add poultry seasoning to mine. It just gives it a little extra flavoring in my opinion. And I also put a little bit of Cajun spice in mine as well. So I already have the chicken breasts in the crock pot. You will need 4 large chicken breasts or 6 small chicken breasts. I put them in there frozen, guys, so it makes it even easier. So you can do that or you can have it already thawed. It's up to you, but I like to put the frozen in there because it just makes the recipe even more easier. So let's get on with the recipe. All right, guys, so there are my frozen chicken breasts in the crock pot. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your butter and you're going to place it on top of your chicken breast. It doesn't really matter where you place it because it's going to get all shifted and moved around anyway once the crock pot gets going. So just throw it all in there. It doesn't really matter. All right, so 4 tablespoons of butter went in. Then you're going to take your seasoning and you're going to season your chicken however you like it with the Himalayan pink salt from Dollar Tree. I'm not going to add much, guys, just about 3 or 4 twists because you're going to get a lot of sodium from the cream of chicken soup and from the chicken broth, so keep that in mind. Yeah, that's wailing in the background. I'm taking my garlic powder and I'm just eyeballing however much I want to put in there. So there's the garlic powder. Then I am going to go ahead and put my pepper in there as well. And I like a lot of pepper in mine. I just think it adds a lot of flavor. All right, next I'm going to add my poultry seasoning in here. And again, you just eyeball it, guys. You can always add more seasoning later after it starts cooking. But I like a lot of poultry seasoning as well. I kind of go a little overboard with the seasoning on stuff. And then I'm going to add a little bit of my Cajun seasoning. It doesn't matter which kind, but it just gives it a little extra flavor, and I don't put that much of that in there. All right, so you have seasoned your chicken breast and you've got the butter in there. Now you want to add your cream of chicken and your chicken stock and your diced onions on top. And I like to combine my chicken broth and my soup first before I just dump it in there. So let's do that next. All right, guys, so next thing you're going to do is you're going to combine your big thing of cream of chicken, and yeah, it comes out in a big blob. And then your little can. If you want, you can just use 3 of these little cans of cream of chicken, whatever you want to do. And then you're going to add your 32 ounces of chicken broth or chicken stock, whatever you have on hand. And like I said, I like to add these 2 together instead of doing them separate in the crock pot. I like to mix it up so it's all incorporated and blended so you don't have like any chunks of cream of chicken soup, which usually don't, but I don't like to risk it. All right, so I've got all the chicken broth in there. I'm going to take a whisk and I'm going to whisk that together, and I'm probably going to make a mess. I usually make a mess when I do this because I don't use a big enough bowl ever. I should learn my lesson and use a bigger bowl. But I'm a hard head and I'm a creature of habit, so do the same old even if you know it's not right, right guys? All right, y'all, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my diced white onion all over the top of the seasoned chicken breasts. And make sure you get them all in there. And then I'm going to add my chicken broth and cream of chicken soup mixture to the crock pot. And you want to try to cover as much as you can of the chicken. Some of it might still be sticking up, but that's okay. All right, so I have it all in there. You're going to put the lid on your crock pot, and you're going to either whatever time setting you need. If you need it in a hurry, you can do it on high for 4 to 6 hours, or I like to do mine on low, and you can do yours on low for 6 to 8 hours. I always do mine on low for 8 hours. So what we're going to do, guys, after it beeps for 8 hours, then we're going to actually get some canned biscuits. Yes, you heard me right. Some canned biscuits. We're going to cut those up and add them to our pot here, and we're going to let it cook for another 30 minutes. Oops. Another 30 minutes for our dumplings. So I want to show you that once the 8 hours is done. So I will see you guys in 8 hours, and we will start on the dumplings. All right, y'all, so it's been 8 hours, and this is what it looks like now. We are going to take our chicken breast, and we're going to take 2 forks, and we are going to shred that chicken up nice and fine as we can. And as you can see, remember that was that frozen chicken before. It's just falling apart now, so super easy to be able to go ahead and shred. And it is going to thicken up, guys, as you put your dumplings in there, because those dumplings are going to absorb a lot of this liquid. So if you're looking at it like, oh my gosh, that is so watery, it is definitely going to thicken up as you put the dumplings in there, the biscuits that we're going to do in a minute. All right, so I'm going to finish shredding this, and then I'm going to show you what biscuits we're going to use and how you need to cut those biscuits, and then what you're going to do when you put them in there and how long you're going to cook them for the dumplings. So see you guys in a minute. All right, y'all, so here are the biscuits that I'm using. I'm just using these Great Value Texas-style biscuits with butter, and there's 5 of them in there. I'm actually using 2 packages of these. I like these little ones better. So you're going to take your biscuit and you're going to cut them into 4. So you're going to cut them into 4 pieces. I did this one time cutting it into 8 pieces, and that's what the original recipe calls for, and they came out too little, and a lot of them just disintegrated, and the husband did not like them. He likes them in 4 because they come out really big. So you're going to cut all your biscuits up into 4 pieces each, just like that, and then we're going to drop them in the actual chicken and dumpling mixture, and we're going to cook that on high for 30 minutes. So let me finish cutting these up, and I'll show you how we're going to put them in and cook them on high. All right, guys, so what I did after I cut up the biscuits, I haven't put them in the crock pot yet, but I did go ahead and taste to see if the flavors were right, and I thought it needed a little bit more pepper and poultry seasoning. So this is the time to go ahead and add your extra seasoning however you like it. Just depends on your taste. So you're going to take all your cut up biscuit pieces, and you're just going to plop them right here in the crock pot. How easy is that? This is a very easy recipe. And after you have them all in the crock pot, what I like to do is just give them a quick stir. That way they're kind of all separated and they have a little mixture or soup on top of each one of them. And then you're going to put your crock pot on high and then put the timer on for 30 minutes. And as soon as it goes off, guys, they should be perfect. They are so good. Like, these are not the traditional dumplings, so if you don't like these kind, I know some people do not like the canned biscuit dumplings. They like the actual rolled out ones. My father-in-law liked the rolled out ones. He did not like this kind, but my husband likes this kind, and I do too. And if it's easy and he likes it, I'm all about it. All right, so we're going to give it a stir. Make sure all those biscuits have the liquid on top of them. Look at all the chicken, how nice it came shredded. And as you can see, guys, it is piping hot. All right, so we are going to put the lid on, like I said, 30 minutes on high. I'll come back when it's done. All right, y'all, so the timer has went off for 30 minutes. This is how it's going to look. It's going to be bubbling, and all the biscuits are going to have floated to the top and be stuck to each other. So what I like to do is I like to take my spoon or whatever you're working with, and I will just go ahead and give that a stir. And as you can see, the biscuit mix, it's like all puffed up, which you want. And like I said, it's going to sit in here and it's going to, you know, marry with the flavors that are already there. And it's also going to absorb a lot of that liquid. So it looks so yummy. And what I like to do is I like to actually let this sit a little bit and let the dumplings incorporate a little bit more flavor. You can add some more pepper here if you want, or some more spices if you want, but I think mine's pretty much good to go. And I'm gonna let it sit and marry for a little bit, and then I will plate it, and you can see what the final product looks like. So we will see. All right, y'all, the chicken and dumplings is now plated. Everything has married together. The dumplings actually get a little bit bigger, guys. As you let it sit, they swell up a little bit more, which is even more nice. And I am so looking forward to digging in this. So we haven't had it in a while, and it is really, really good. If you let it sit overnight, guys, the next day the broth will thicken up a little bit, but chicken and dumplings is like a soup, so you don't want it to be super thick anyway. I like it like this, like a soup. So I know some people like to eat it over rice too, but I just think that's a lot of starch, so we just eat it just like this with the dumplings, the chicken, and the liquid. So if you like these Foodie Fridays, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, and the recipe will be in the description box down below, so make sure to click the arrow that drops down the description box and you can see how to make this. If you forgot any steps from the video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I do Foodie Fridays quite often on the channel now, and I plan on bringing you lots of more budget-friendly and crock-pot-friendly recipes in the future. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you make this, guys, please come back to this video and let me know that you made it and how you liked it. I always look forward to hearing how y'all like the recipes when you try them out. Love you guys so much. Have a great night, great day. Bye.